G'day. We've left Victor Harbour after 3 nights there. It was a bit rainy, but very pleasant place to be. We're visiting Naracoorte, or more specifically the caves near Naracoorte, where there's a campground nearby the caves. And we'll be staying there for another 3 nights, and that will probably wrap up the South Australian portion of our travels. And after that, there's a good chance that we'll just do a dead straight run home.
Yeah.
So this trip is almost done, Bash.
Yeah. So we actually have been in South Australia for about 2 weeks. I think it's just when it's early September, when it's the start of September. And I didn't expect the weather is going to be so wet and cold. And I suspect the Naracoorte temperature tonight is going to be 3 and the next night is going to be 1. And
But we are going to have campfires.
exactly.
And yeah, never been disappointed visiting South Australia. It's a very lovely state, although when you get to the northern parts, it's kind of parched and desert-like, and not really as green.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, but yeah, no, we love South Australia. It's a very good place to visit. Fine with here, but
Yeah. We are now in Keith for lunch and to just have a break. We've been driving for about a couple hours now. So here we go.
Which coffee is mine? Which coffee is mine?
There's one with cap written on it. We are now in Naracoorte Cave campground, which is run by the Department of Environment of South Australia, and this is site number 1. And it's actually it's a really nice site because it has a bush next to it, and there's no other camper on the other side, and there's power. And this is site number 2. There's a tennis ground next to it, and if you look at there's the amenity, it's not far at all from site number 1. And that's the other side, which is number 9, number 8 over there, and the entrance is right over there. So I'm glad that I actually booked this one. You need to book it through their website, and they have photo, but there's no map. So that's why I think this probably, I hope this is helping you to make a decision. We're even having fire, what is it, like 4 o'clock it's cold?
Yes. I think it's about 5 now, but yes, it is already cold. Last night we had our first camp at Naracoorte Caves Campground, which is just down the road from the caves itself. And today we chose to come to Bool Lagoon, not to be confused with Blue Lagoon, and have a look around, because we had been here about 10 years ago or so, and the lagoon at the time had been completely dry. It's supposed to be known for its bird watching, and we thought, given the time of year, that winter has just passed and spring has just begun, and there has been quite a lot of rain in South Australia, that perhaps there would be some water in the lagoon, but it still looks dry as a bone, unfortunately. So it's only just up the road from our campsite. It's not as if we wasted any time, and it's certainly a very pleasant place to sit and eat your lunch, which we have just done. But yeah, no water, sadly. But the view, still enjoyable, and it's nice and quiet out here. You can actually hear some birds making noises, so I'm sure the bird enthusiasts amongst you might be able to pick some of those out. And in the meantime, we also have a beautiful field of canola in the background for young Mr. Bash.
Yeah, I just about to say, I don't know whether this lagoon ever have water in it. Maybe we need to contact the what do you call the rain dancer to call the rain to fill the water. Because the pictures show there's like a black swan in the water and heron and all of them, but it's the second time we're here and it's all just dry. Come on, South Australia, do something about the rain.
we had the rain. We were complaining about that a few days ago. And here we are saying, oh my God, it's too wet, it's terrible, what are we going to do? And now we come here and we just complain there hasn't been enough rain. So, there's no pleasing us, even though we've just had our lunch. We should be happy. Well, we are. We are happy. Yeah. But yes, it would have been nice to see it with water, not to be this time around, perhaps sometime in the future.
Sometime in the future. As you said, there's a nice area of those.
The canola.
Canola. They're everywhere.
Indeed.
We are on the top of Bool Lookout. The hill's not very high, but the view is quite open, so the land must be really, really flat, as you can see on the background. It's our second day in Naracoorte Cave Campground, and check out the fire.
It's a roaring fire.
Yeah, it is very cold yesterday. Yes, I mean this morning it was, I think, down to 2 degrees, but feels like 0 or something like that. But tonight it's not going to be that cold. But we just like to light up some fire.
It is in fact our 4th and final campfire for the trip, and we will be cooking dinner on it tonight, as we cooked our dinner on it last night. And tonight, our dinner is, Mr. Bash?
Oh, tonight, we will have
He's forgotten what it's called already.
a beef kebab.
Beef kebab?
Exactly.
But it's a solid block of meat.
I know, that's why it's cooked slowly, and then we will shred it like kebab. And look at this. We are in Naracoorte Cave National Park in the visitor center, but the weather doesn't look very good, so we're not in the mood to go into a cave, so we're just gonna wander around. So they are going to the cave with the tour. Good morning, all, and good morning to Mr. J.
Good morning.
Our camping day finished last night in Naracoorte, and we are now on the way back to Melbourne. So, anything you like to add, Mr. J?
Yeah, we've been on the road for about 2.5 months. It's been great fun, but I can't deny I'm looking forward to sleeping in my own bed and saying hi to the dogs and all that groovy sort of stuff, and not having to pack up a caravan every couple of days. We left Naracoorte this morning about 8:30 local South Australian time, but of course when you come to Victoria it would have been 9 o'clock instead of 8:30 that we left. It took us about 20 minutes before we crossed over the border, and we've just passed through Horsham. We've got about 260, 270 kilometres to go, and about 3 hours before we hit home.
I know. I think the one that I'm longing to is the puppies, and just being in a place that we have the certainty whether they're going to be a hot shower or not. To be honest, the camping in the north was fantastic because the weather was nice and not too hot, not too cold. But when it comes down to the south and it was wet and cold for 2 weeks, it's a little bit harder to manage to go out.
Yeah, well, because we had to cut a lot of the outback stuff, like the proper outback stuff that we wanted to do, because we couldn't take the trailer there. We basically cut 2 weeks out of our trip and ended up coming south earlier than we anticipated, and we didn't think about that. So yeah, we didn't take into account the weather considerations, because once we got past New South Wales when we left home, we felt, oh, we've left winter behind us. But of course, we caught the tail end of winter and this early damp, cold spring weather when we came down. So yeah, it made camping a little less comfortable again, but still enjoyable. Bash might not have thought that it was too hot up north, but on occasion I did. Certainly at night it could have been a bit hot and sticky, particularly in Cape York. But yeah, there were some good balances there, and I'm not averse to the cold weather. It's just that, yeah, we've been out camping for 2.5 months now, and it's time to go home.
Yeah. All right.
Hello. Hello. Daddy. Come on. Come on, oh my goodness.
I'll give it 2 hours.